The book I chose to read is The Forgotten Girls by Sarah Blydell. This is documentary number 1. Hello, my name is Lise Anderson. I was born in Denmark, along with my twin sister Mette Anderson. During birth, the placenta detached, causing brain damage to my sister and I. And actually my mom ended up dying in the birth, so I never knew her. So we were taken to the hospital, and they told us that since the brain damage had been done at such an early age, there was no hope for a full recovery or having a normal child, in a sense. So we were sent to Ellesund, a home for the disabled. And it's not a home for adults, it's actually a home for children. And that's why I ended up at Ellesund. My sister and I, we ended up there because the brain damage, it causes us to not be able to read and write as well as many other students, and my grammar is not always as good as some of the other kids because of that. And while we were at Ellesund, actually, some of the girls, we all had to wear these dresses, and all the boys had to wear the same pattern but in a jumpsuit almost. And we had a tagging system. I had to wear this. My number was 22. And they didn't really remember you by your name. It was strictly by your tag number. So I was tag number 22. So I wore this on the front of my dress, and that's how they kept track of me and my daily activities. Was they checked off on a list what number 22 had been doing all day. Ellesund, it was very lonely. You know, we never really had any visitors. People rarely came because when visitors would come to see their children, it was really hard for them to leave. Especially on the children, because they've been alone for so long, and then when they have people coming to visit them, it's really hard to let them go. So we never really had visitors, and it was recommended by the doctors that we didn't. My dad, he came 2 or 3 times to visit us, but the care assistant recommended he didn't. And that was really hard, seeing your dad come once a week and then not having him show up for the rest of your years there. But it was really pitiful, because kids, like, when I was a kid, we'd all sit, by the doors at Ellesund, just sitting there waiting for someone to come see us. Waiting for someone to want us. But they never did. And you're probably wondering, actually, how I got this scar on my face. At Ellesund, you have a scheduled routine. So I was the first shower of the morning, and they turn on the water heating system to get the water heated up, and whenever the water would begin to get warm, they'd turn on the cooler, so it would be like a little lukewarm for the child whenever they took the shower. But unfortunately for me, the cooler system was not working one morning. So I hopped into the tub, and I had the shower hanging right on top of me, and when they turned the water on, scalding boiling water came pouring all down on my body, but especially my face, because it was so sensitive, and it just scalded the skin off of my face. That tells you how little they cared about you. They didn't even double check the water heater was working. The water cooler. They didn't even check to see the water cooler was working. little did I know that was going to be the least of my worries. There was a care assistant who worked at Ellisond. He was a male, and he used some of the girls there. And his sister also worked at Ellisond. And his sister and the main doctor at Ellisond were having an affair. During that time, my sister and I, we were diagnosed with pneumonia. And the care assistant working there, his name was Jorgen. And his sister Bodil was having an affair with the doctor. And Jorgen wanted my sister and I all for himself. So he snuck us away in his car to his barn, and he made the doctor sign our death certificate saying we were dead. And the only reason the doctor did it was because Jorgen threatened to reveal their secret that they were having an affair. So the doctor signed our death certificate saying we were dead. So we were forgotten, basically. I mean, once you're dead, no one comes to look for you. No one comes to try and help you. So we were locked away in his home for 31 years. I was 10 at the time we were locked away, and he kept us there for himself. My sister and I, we were never really harmed. We were just in these little, about 5 by 8 little barn rooms that we stayed in. And I tried to escape one day, and he found me in the woods, and he killed me. So, my case is still ongoing right now. My murder case, but I really must go. I haven't been upright in a long time. But thank you for letting me speak to you today. Goodbye.